Hey everybody, it's Lady Leah here. I'm so freaking excited that you are here and I'm here and I got somebody else here. We're gonna talk about that in a minute, but I want to be really quick and say that I want to thank my sponsor, Churchy Chick, for helping me pay the bills, okay? You are watching the Lifeline. And I have somebody here today that is so special to me. Such an amazing person, such a great man, doing great works in the kingdom. And he is our friend. I could say that wholeheartedly. He is our friend and our brother. None other than, he got a long title, let me get it all out. Reverend Dr. Charles E. Goodman Jr.
Good to be here, thank you. I know you're going to call me Chucky before it's over, so...
I'm going to switch to Chucky now because I gave you your government.
That's right.
I gave you your official kingdom title.
That's funny.
Reverend, Doctor, Pastor, everything.
That's cool.
Now you Chucky.
I'm Chucky.
Would y'all welcome Dr. Goodman?
Thank y'all. Good to be
hear
here.
The claps. Do you hear?
I hear it. Lifeline.
They love you.
Here, I finally made it. I have arrived.
You have made it to
this
the
is
Lifeline.
This is a high pinnacle point of my life in ministry. I'm on the Lifeline with Leah.
You are the first male preacher.
Wow, I'm honored. That's great.
To be on the Lifeline.
There's been some amazing people here, so glad to be a part. And we're gonna have a lot of good conversation.
We're gonna have good convo. Look, but let me get this out the way, okay?
Let's do it.
Because when I put your flyer up, I thought we was gonna go viral or something because the women of God,
that's hilarious.
my Lifeline sisters were like, what is going on, Lady Leah, with this cutie patootie?
That's funny.
This cute guy, Dr. Goodman. And so I said, listen, y'all, I'm going to ask him all the good questions, all the details, and we are going to talk about relationships, pastoring, all that interesting stuff that the ladies want to know about you.
Okay.
Because we see you from afar. We watch you preach on national stages, but some folks just want to know who Chucky is.
That's funny. This is a little kid from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Little kid from Greensboro. Okay, so of course everybody knows we went to Dudley High School together.
The James Benson Dudley High School.
James Benson.
Panther Pride.
Panther Pride. So Chucky was a year older than me.
Is it a year?
You were maybe you were ahead by 2 years.
97.
God, Chucky, you old. I was 99.
Yeah, I was 2 years.
Okay, so let's just talk about that. So we both were at Dudley High School.
But you were really saved at Dudley High School. Right?
See, this is what I wanted to get to. Chucky,
hey guys, Leah was really saved. I'm talking about dresses to her ankles. She was fasting during lunch.
Oh my God, I really was. Y'all know I really was.
Prayer groups before and after church, after school.
Oh my God, we were having Bible study. Chucky would pick on me.
I wouldn't pick.
He was not pick, but you like praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Every time he saw me in the hallway, he would say praise the Lord.
Yeah.
But I always knew that there was something different about you. You weren't just smart, but there was a gift there. There was an anointing there.
That's crazy, man. People say that and saw that. I never thought that. You couldn't tell me. I thought I was going to be a lawyer and, playing basketball. I thought I was, my mind was set on being a lawyer. So it was never consideration pastoring. I thought,
right.
So
maybe preach.
Crazy.
Did you think maybe I will preach, but I'm not going to be a pastor?
I think, my grandparents, they had pictures of me at 8 years old preaching in a vacuum cleaner. Or coming home and re-preaching the pastor stuff, and it's pictures in my study now. That have. So but I grew up in a church, man. I grew up in United Holy Church, and so churches I grew up in never got over 30, 40 people. So I never would imagine I'm leading a church now over 9,000 people.
9,000 people, y'all.
My beginnings was that. I was a musician. I played drums. I played keyboard. And I stopped to do that because I wanted to play basketball. And so
let's talk about this. You were a basketball star in high school.
Wasn't a star, but I was part of.
Well, you was a star to me.
It was. That's some great players, man. Vincent Witt, my best friend Brendan Haywood, Jermaine Price, and a lot of great guys we were with Braxton Williams, Jermaine
That's right.
Peebles.
That's
we
right.
still are all cool today. So,
all still good friends.
Won a state championship in '96. It was good, man. We really enjoyed one another, and I'm real proud of those guys. And and that was just being part of a team, their family. So. And you play at Dudley. It's back in our day. That was a big thing. Yeah, that was a big thing. Mm-hmm.
And so in the process of that, you were also SGA.
Yeah, I was Mr. Dudley.
Mr. Dudley.
I was on the SGA board. Mm-hmm. And everything else like National Honor Society,
valedictorian.
Up there, man, it was cool.
It was cool. Smart. Okay.
I was challenged. My grandparents told me early, they was like, "You're going to college, but we cannot pay for it."
Wow.
So
but you're going to college.
You're going to college. Yeah. And you know what's crazy?
Yeah.
I tell people, and I hate that for this generation.
Yeah.
But what really wanted me to go to school? Different World, that TV show.
Yes.
I mean, we grew up with some shows that kind of set a trajectory of black excellence.
That's right.
From
That's
Cosby
right.
to Different World, and then we're in a town with A&T, so.
It was right here.
My parents went to Howard. My grandparents went to A&T. Mm-hmm. Everyone around us kind of went to school. So
that's true.
That was not like
far-fetched.
Yeah, it was like this is what we do.
Yeah,
we go on an A&T homecoming every year.
Okay.
I mean, Dudley homecoming was like A&T homecoming every year. So
it was merged.
So that was always on the pathway. So,
And you mentioned your grandparents, and I want to stop right there because a lot of people don't know you are like a grandma's boy.
Yeah, period. Yeah.
I'm like,
well, actually, even before that, I probably was
a
grandpa's boy.
Yeah.
They raised me. I was adopted at 14 months of age.
Wow.
By my grandparents. That's what brought me to Greensboro. Mm-hmm. And to this day, I mean, they're the most important individuals in my life. Now, my grandfather passed in 2008.
Right.
That's still the hardest loss of my life. I miss him dearly. He was just the greatest man ever.
Yeah.
And my grandmother just turned 92 in May. And
Grandma!
I will talk to her, hopefully when I leave here, go by and hug her. And
that's right, and love on her.
Really fight tomorrow after I preach tonight. But but that's my foundation. They love God. I didn't know we didn't have much till I got out of the house, but they provided. I mean, it was in church all the time, but they provided the foundation. I'm grateful for them. What they imparted in my life. And, and man, it's so crazy. When I was growing up, they used to make me recite Bible verses before I could eat. It's crazy.
Before you could eat dinner, you had to give us Psalm 23.
Yeah, it was crazy. I had to remember all this kind of stuff. And it's amazing. I used to hate it as a kid.
Right.
And then it was what I do now. So I think they instilled that. I would wake up in the middle of the night. I can see them praying over me. So,
God.
For any parents out there, it does matter. It does matter praying. And so, I think I'm grateful. I think a lot of what God has accomplished in my life was to honor them. I tell people quickly, I do not believe that God elevated me because I'm so gifted or this or that, but to honor their prayers.
Yes.
So I'm kind of walking in what they were able to share.
In the fruit of their prayers. And so, we could see in your life, we could see how God's hand has just been on your life the entire time that you've been on this earth. And now we'll talk about a little bit about the health challenges and just some major testimonies you have. But let's talk about these degrees and just how the Lord just answered Grandma's prayers. And you did your undergrad at Wake Forest.
Yes.
Okay. You did your master's at Emory.
Yes.
Now, you didn't stop, Pastor. You went straight through.
I went and got my doctorate.
Right. And then your doctorate at Wesley
Theological Seminary.
Okay.
And then I got an MBA from Cambridge College. I just completed a Yale Clergy Scholar program, and actually I'm getting ready to work on another doctorate in leadership that I probably begin in January.
Well, somebody just stopped.
But I will tell you one of the reasons why.
Oh, my God.
Part of it is I'm an overachiever.
Okay.
But I had an incident in 8th grade at Lincoln Middle School. Okay. My English teacher, Juliet. I hope she's listening. Miss Juliet.
Miss Juliet.
I never get in 8th grade. And I was, middle school, we, want to have fun. I was in the honors classes, but I really wasn't really kind of worried about stuff like that. So I was just class clown,
Yeah, okay.
And one day I was just acting a fool in class.
Okay.
And she made a statement. She said, "Chuck, come up front," or something like that. And then she was like, "You ain't gonna do nothing but be selling drugs on Willow Road, and you're not gonna be anybody." And she said this in front of the whole class. And everybody started laughing. And that moment clicked for me. But I was like, you know what? I'm never going to let somebody choose my route to do that. So here's what's funny.
That's a sermon.
I applied for Dudley Academy. Everybody at Lincoln that was going to apply.
Right.
I didn't get into a day before school. I was on the waiting list for Dudley Academy.
Yeah, it was on
and
the
so
waiting list.
I didn't get into a day before school.
Jesus.
And I took that as this chip on my, I'm going to show people that I can do it. So honestly.
Show you, Juliet.
Everything. So going through school, pushing, coming through at top of the class at Dudley, going to Wake Forest. This is edge I have that I want to prove that I am smart. So I think I've kind of taken kind of that as my motto.
You have taken it to the extreme, Pastor.
And I'm going to keep taking it to the extreme.
I mean, you got stacks of degrees,
because
okay?
I think I was that black kid that teachers try to say had ADD or ADHD.
Yeah.
My grandmother came up to school, I'll never forget, in elementary, and she said, he's not dumb, you're not putting him on medicine.
No,
Give
sir.
him extra work.
That's right.
And she basically looked at me like, you're going to act right in school and you're going to do extra work. So it gave me an early way to learn and to read and stuff.
And to focus.
So I'm an overachiever. I'm a cat that, I just try to find new challenges educationally. So yes, I am currently looking at getting another doctorate in leadership is my next aim.
Another doctorate. And so, what's the one advice you would give to those of us like me? We, school just makes us shake a little bit. Like, I got my bachelor's, but, I want to keep going. But then you're like, Lord, do I have the time?
It's never going to be convenient.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, you just got to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's got to be a passion, desire for you, you just got to want to do it. I was fortunate, but I think, and we'll get into this later, me putting that ahead of everything probably cost some things for me. The timing to do that ministry, I sacrificed a lot. I sacrificed relationships. I sacrificed certain places that others look for contentment. I was more focused on doing ministry, going to school, and it cost me. I mean, I'll be honest now. It's going to be a cost, and you got to be able, you can't do everything. I tell people all the time. You can't have it all.
You can't do everything.
You can't.
So you had to prioritize. This is what matters at this moment for me.
And that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And so that was a focus of mine. That I want to be the best I can educationally. Because it was instilled in me that's what sets you apart. So, I went straight through. You talk about graduate high school 17. I got out of college, I'm 20. I took a year off to go then I'm at Emory and I do that. And right after that, I was fortunate enough to go right into my doctorate. I got my doctorate at 29. So, oh my God. And then keep pushing and moving and having spaces of ministry that wanted me to grow, realizing that I'm the ceiling. Right. And I've always been able to just say, I'm going to, I want to be example for those under me that you can do it. And that's what you are. Yeah, so I really want to do that. And now let's talk, because so many things happened in your life is interesting. It's crazy. Do you ever sit back and be like, my life is bomb? Man, I don't think it's bomb, but I'm blessed. Man, Lord's been kind. But once again, it really depends on which lens you look at it from. Yeah. So, who much is given, much is required, right? That whole notion. That's right. And so God has favored me. And with that favor has come responsibility and has come frustrating seasons. Like, I think we always talk about favor and favor ain't fair, but think about it. We talk about Joseph, who's the most favored individual in the Bible that's mentioned. Right. But man, he had to go through the pit, Potiphar's house, prison, before he got to the palace. Like, every piece of favor it don't always feel like favor, right? So, and this is your book, Flip Side of Favor. Yeah, that was. Let me put that plug out there. Yeah, that was the flip side of favor. That was just a crazy moment. So, but I think it's true. It lines up to reality of life. And so now, Pastor, in between the schooling and bam, 21, you accept your call to preach. Yeah, officially. Okay. I think my grandparents will say I started preaching around 8, but officially 21. You were bootlegging since 8 to about 20. Then you start preaching officially. Okay, so now tell us about that. Tell us, what was your first sermon title? Because every preacher, we know our first. The Doctor's In. Here's the crazy thing. I remember every sermon I've ever preached. So it was Mark 5, give it to us. The Doctor's In. It was
Doctor's In.
It was dealing with the one with the issue of blood. Because at that time, I was dealing with my diagnosis of ALS, and
that's right.
Was told at that time I had 2 years to live, and so.
Now talk about that, Pastor. Don't you can't skip over that.
Yeah, my senior year of college.
Yeah.
I was experiencing weakness in the right side of my body. Assumed it was carpal tunnel. At that time, I was preparing myself to go to law school and all those kind of things that I wanted to accomplish. And January 22nd, 2001, never forget it. I mean, it's like embedded in my mind.
Yeah.
Went to the doctor and they came back with the diagnosis of ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. And they told me you had 2 years to live. So at that moment, life kind of shifted.
Yes.
Law was no longer a preeminent priority anymore. It was, okay,
life.
How do I live 2 years?
How do I live?
So it was, so much around that moment. I'm grateful. My grandparents, my friends came in town.
Yeah.
B, Jermaine, all them.
Yeah.
I had people telling me though, drop out of school, just live, enjoy, right? But I couldn't. I had a come to Jesus meeting with God that night. And I really told God, I said, if it's going to be 2 years, I just give you 2 years. I'll go as hard as I can in this ministry thing. I knew at the moment that there was a call in my life, but I was like, I'm going to do my own thing.
Right.
And here I am close to 20 years after that diagnosis. And I tell my church this in the time that I shared with them and our new members and stuff. I said, I believe my life is tied to my calling. So I do not,
that's preachable.
Nothing else
that's preachable
will ever supplant that as priority in my life.
That's right.
And I think that God has extended time for me
to fulfill purpose.
To fulfill that purpose. God. So it's not a job. It's not an occupation.
Yeah.
Like I live and breathe this because I believe wholeheartedly in my heart that my life is tied to it. So I believe that God is holding me on to hold it, and not to do that is literally cutting my life off. So I take it that seriously. And once again, and we'll get to that later on, I think that nothing else takes priority.
Right.
Absolutely nothing.
I think it really has caused you to live your best life.
In that, yes. I think those who may look at that professionally, yes. But then others will look at personally and be like, oh, the sacrifice has been... you've had to make some real adjustments and decisions that everybody doesn't always agree with. And that's tough.
We look at, this is a churchy word. Y'all know I'm churchy. We look at your glory, but we don't know the story. Okay.
There's a lot to it. I struggled. It was hard health-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, medication, even now, I still feel some residue. I mean, I'm in a gym almost every day simply because I have to constantly work on building muscle and building those kind of things.
Right.
It's just part of it.
Right. And so you are healthy, you are whole, the Lord is blessing you. 21, you preaching. 27, you pastoring.
No, 23 actually. No, 21 I was licensed. 22 ordained. My first church I got at 23 in Salem, Alabama. So I was in seminary after my first year.
How?
It's an interesting story.
Okay, let's get it.
So my first year I'm in Emory, County School of Theology, and me even getting there was crazy and here's what's crazy. The one who really told me to go there was Stacy Frazier. He's passed on, going to glory.
Yes, amazing.
He was a Panther Pride.
Yes, he was.
He was from us with Dudley. And even though I didn't even really rock with him in high school, it was a random meeting in a barber shop.
Wow.
And I just started preaching.
Yeah.
And, he had his own health challenges. So, so we kind of really connected later on for us. And he would say, hey, Chuck, you going to school? I said, yeah, man, I'm thinking about it. He said, man. I told him the options. I said Duke, Vanderbilt, maybe Emory.
Right.
He said, man, look, you went to Wake Forest. It's a conservative school. Don't do Duke, don't do Vanderbilt. Go to Emory. And one of my mentors at Wake Forest at the time, Dr. Brad Braxton, got his PhD from Emory.
Okay.
So it just began to line up. And it's Atlanta. So, I mean, come on. Those who would not, this is 90s Atlanta. Like, I mean, so I had a thought about 90s Atlanta, even though this was in the 2000s.
Right.
Atlanta's a lot different now. But
Atlanta is Atlanta.
It's different.
Okay.
It's different.
And you down there with them. You
it's
close.
a different monster.
Yes, it is.
So that's what kind of pushes. So my first year seminary.
Yeah.
I'm really kind of struggling financially, even though I have full ride paid. You got to live in Atlanta.
Right.
And we had what's called Contextual Education. So they allowed you different spots throughout the cities where you go do ministry.
Okay.
My con ed placement was the Metro State Prison for Women. God gave me favor to do every Sunday night service.
Right.
And do the counseling. And there was a woman, she just was killed on death row, but I had to give her communion. So we had to rotate that as a student.
Right.
In my content was a woman by the name of Annie Boyd. I have not seen her since my first year. I wish I could see her. I hope she may be still alive. I'm not even sure.
Right.
She was a AME, but she was second in life. A lot of people who came to school at that time were second career going into ministry.
Okay, gotcha.
She came to me one day. I'm in Con Ed, sitting there chilling, and she says, "Look, I just came from my nephew's church. He did a nutrition conference in Alabama. The church is vacant. I think you'll be great for it." And she gives me the number to the people. You randomly, because I didn't even speak to anybody. She was a lot older, so it wasn't like, I was 21, 22 at the time, and
you at the prison.
I'm at the prison. So
wow.
And what's crazy, one of my new members actually was at the Metro State Prison when I used to be there in seminary. So she's now a member of my church, which is wild and crazy. But wow. And so so I called. It's crazy because at the time, man, I wasn't making much. I was trying to figure out what life and what ministry gonna be and all that stuff. So I called.
And you 23, you a kid.
Yeah, I was 22 actually.
Yeah.
So I lost. I called the number. It was actually the wrong number. Who she wanted me, but they all related in the area. Okay. Long story short, they invited me to come preach in March of that year. I go preach. It was about an hour, 45 minutes one way.
Right.
And my car at the time was a junk car. I mean, it would shake between 30 and 35 miles per hour. So
right.
It was just hard to navigate that. And Honda Accord. Black Beauty.
You still had the black Honda Accord?
I did have that black Honda Accord.
We all loved your black Honda Accord at Dudley, okay?
Black Honda Accord.
It was bomb then.
So from that, they invited me to come back to May, preach Mother's Day. But then at that time, I was really struggling. I was deciding I was going to move to D.C., go work on staff with my pastor at the time, and go to Howard. I was going to transfer to Howard. Fast forward to August 3rd of that year, 2000, and was it 2003? Mm-hmm. I get a call. August 3rd is Sunday.
Right.
My pastor preached in Baltimore. I was going back to Virginia where me and B stayed. Monday was going to be the day when I go and do my transfer. Right. That Sunday, I get a call.
Let me pause. B is Brandon Haywood.
Yeah, my boy.
A former NBA player.
Yeah, he's doing great work now.
Which is his best friend. Okay.
He's now doing TV and radio. So
he's
doing his thing. He's the NBA champion. So
yes.
Shout out to B Wood.
Yes.
And that night, I got a call from that church.
Wow.
That unbeknownst to me, they voted. And somehow my name got on the ballot, and I became the pastor of Pleasant View Missionary Baptist Church. Didn't even know anything about it, so it just really kind of changed my life.
You didn't even know they were voting?
I didn't even know they were voting. I didn't even know my name was going to be on the list. Now, here's the crazy story about it. Deacon Matthews, he's going on to be with the Lord now.
Yeah.
But the word is, man, they had 3 other candidates, married, had pastored. And he stood up and said, look, guys, all I know is that this light-skinned guy from Atlanta comes. There's an energy we have. And I know he may not be what we want, but he may be what God has for us.
That's right.
They put my name on the list, and from that, I got voted a pastor. And so it drastically changed my mind. God allowed me to lead those people for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Graced us, so we became the fastest growing church in East Alabama.
Yes.
And I just, man, bless their heart, because, I mean, I was just practicing everything on them. So it was cool, man. It was my first kind of move, and it kind of helped me in that piece.
That was your first step. You know, you can't overlook your small beginnings, because it really has made you who you are. And so we are going to come right back, and I want to talk about your now.
Okay, cool.
How all of this has led up to who you are now, the leadership that you are walking in at Tabernacle Baptist Church, and you're doing it all single.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
All right, cool.
Okay. Okay.